Assalamu alaikum, everyone. May peace be upon all of you. Good evening. My name is Aram Shakir, and I am the chair of the East Brunswick Human Relations Council. I'd like to welcome you all to our third annual Ramadan lighting event to commemorate this beautiful month. I'm going to start off the evening with some interesting fun facts. Ramadan is celebrated by 1.8 billion Muslims around the world, 4.5 Muslims here in America, 350,000 Muslims in New Jersey, and thousands here in East Brunswick and surrounding areas. I'm truly honored to be speaking here, and my heart is full of gratitude to my hometown of East Brunswick. It brings me immense joy that our town of East Brunswick recognizes a holiday that is meaningful to not just me, but all of you. Speaking of which, I'd like to acknowledge following individuals, some of whom you'll be hearing from: Mayor Brad Cohen, Tahir Jadoon, Shura member of ICEB, Murtaza Kamusi, board member and lead member of the public relations from Masjid Zaini, and our guest speaker, Kaiser Aslam, who is the chaplain at Rutgers University. Standing here today is proof that celebrating Muslim holidays are becoming tolerated and encouraged. We love that a beautiful and cherished holiday can also be part of the American Muslim culture, because we are also part of that fabric of this community and make it great. And that is made possible today because of all of you. So please give yourselves a round of applause. And our amazing township leaders. Please give them a round of applause. If there is any town in America that is committed to not just respecting diversity, but also celebrating it, it's right here in our town of East Brunswick. So please give a round of applause to our town. Our town is a true example of what America represents. So a huge, huge, huge thanks to our Mayor, Brad Cohen. And before we get started, I just wanted to acknowledge a few more people that are here. Sterling Stanley, State Assembly District 18. Kevin McAvoy, Council Member. Sharon Sullivan, Council Member. Dana Winston, Council Member. Dana Zimbicki, Council Member. Lori Lax, Board of Education. Dan Rosette, who is a member of the Jewish Federation. The entire East Brunswick Recreation Department, especially John Roche, who's going to make all of this happen. Nusrat Sohail, East Brunswick Human Relations Council. Paula Quinton, Vice Chair. Rayan Shakir, member of the East Brunswick Human Relations Council. Interfaith Clergy Council, Holly Sarami and Kamran Hashmi. I'd like to call upon Mayor Brad Cohen.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you all for coming out this evening. I do, and Aram, thank you for the great introduction. It's actually just a pleasure to be able to look out here and see these crowds each year getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a testament to us as a township, to you as a community, and to the leadership in the township that promotes diversity on display right here today. So give yourself a big round of applause. As I'm sure you know already, Ramadan is dedicated to fasting, to prayer, to reflection, and to community, which I do believe is exactly what we are looking at right here, right now. And as we approach this month together as a community and as Muslims, I think we need to recognize that there's a lot of things going on in the world right now that we need to be considering and reflecting upon this month ahead. First and foremost is, we've just gone through this major pandemic. Sickness and illness, the post-pandemic mental illness, cancers, things that plague humans, that's not over yet. That's still a battle. We need to think about how we treat that, not only here, but throughout the United States, throughout the world. It's a world problem. There's food insecurity. And while we may all feel comfortable here in East Brunswick, the reality is that food insecurity and homelessness and the effects of weather that's happened over the last couple of years, the severe effects that have changed things, the financial insecurity for many people, not only here in around the world, but in the United States and right here in East Brunswick. Don't be fooled. All of these problems that we hear on the news, they exist here as well. We need to be considerate and recognize the fact that we may be lucky, but the purpose of the holiday is to think about those that are least among us and to be able to provide for them in a way that is dignified and preserves their humanity and humility. I think that's what the holiday is about. And so we think about charity, which, by the way, for Muslims and for Jews is pretty much the same word. Zakar or sadaqah, it's the same root. It's the same meaning. So we need to think about that and reflect upon that in this holiday. So on behalf of the township, I wish each of you a happy, healthy, and meaningful Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak.
For those beautiful words, I'd like to now call upon Tahir Jadoon, who is a board shura member of Islamic Center of East Brunswick.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I would like to thank you everyone for coming over here and joining us tonight and in this little cold weather. I really appreciate for all those who came out and took their time out. On behalf of the Islamic Center of East Brunswick and the resident of Muslim community of East Brunswick, I would like to thanks to the Human Relation Council, East Brunswick clergy, interfaith clergy, and planning and zoning board members, staff, and special to the Mayor Brad Cohen for arranging this evening tonight and celebrating the start of the month of Ramadan. So I would really thankful everyone for that, and especially thanks to the council members. And I've been informed that Dinesh Pahal could not able to make it, but he sent us a good wishes for the Ramadan, and thank you very much for everyone that. And at the end, I would like to special thanks to the members and staff of the zoning and the planning boards who are really very supportive throughout the process. As you all know, that we have been building our new masjid, and throughout this process of construction, they were very supportive, and I would like to thank all of them. And at the end, I would like to say happy Ramadan to all the people who are observing it. And inshallah, we all wish that this Ramadan brings blessing to our town and to our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother Tahir. Now I'd like to call upon Murtaza Komusi, board member and head of public relations at Masjid-e Zaini Dawoodi Bohra Muslims of New Jersey.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. One of the problems of going last is that almost everything that you could have said has already been said. But I just wanted to start by thanking everyone again for coming. Thank you, Mayor Cohen. Thank you, Assemblyman Stanley, board members, council members, all for creating in East Brunswick a civic space in which we not only recognize but celebrate diversity. I really have grown to appreciate over the years. Our masjid has been here on Dunham's Corner Road. Over 300 families. We wanted to say Ramadan Mubarak to everyone here, from everyone. And we wanted to thank the community here for supporting us and growing with us across these years. We've been here for more than 20 years. We're continuing to grow. We're building our center even bigger. Like Ira mentioned in her broad speech, Ramadan means many things to us. It's not just prayer and proximity to Almighty, but prayer to different forms of acts, whether that be social welfare, whether that be feeding the less fortunate. And I encourage all the members here to visit our mosques during these months. You'll see all those acts come together. You'll see acts of charity, you'll see acts of prayer, and you'll see all those other acts that bring us all together. So thank you again very much. Ramadan Mubarak. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Murtaza, for the great speech. We will now call upon our last speaker, who's our guest speaker, Kaiser Aslam, who is the chaplain at Rutgers University.
Assalamu alaikum. May the peace and blessings of God be upon all of you. It's my honor to be here with you tonight. I know the weather's kind of cold, but the gathering definitely has warmth to it. So first, congratulations everyone for being here. This is my second time getting to share a little bit about the month of Ramadan, or the essence of Ramadan, and what we're celebrating today. And inshallah, the way I wanted to do that is by, of course, we're going to have this beautiful opportunity where the children participate in lighting and welcoming in Ramadan. And I think to the organizers, mashallah, what a beautiful way of welcoming Ramadan. Great job, mashallah. But what I wanted to talk about is 3 things that are being celebrated in the month of Ramadan. That what is this month really doing? We have this idea that it's the month of fasting, it's the month of the Quran, but what do Muslims, why is it so revered for Muslims to be celebrating the month of Ramadan? And the first of which is actually, what do we celebrate in the month of Ramadan is actually a self-discovery of strength, a discovery and reflection of God consciousness. And how I want us to understand that is, of course, many of us know that the month of Ramadan is the month of fasting, in which Muslims fast from sun up to sundown, from dawn to dusk. And you're probably going to be telling this to your coworkers over and over again. Even water? Yeah, even water. And as you do that, what's the point of all of it? Well, it's actually supposed to be that you recognize that I'm capable of more than I thought I was. I know for me particularly, the next week I'm going to be a zombie for the first 2 or 3 days as I realize how much I really do rely on caffeine and sugar. But it's this idea that I'm more than just the things that I eat. And I actually can put those to the side. Why? Because I'm working on something more important. My true purpose in this life is to be conscious of God. And Ramadan allows me to do that. It's a discovery of an inner strength that I have, that even in those moments in which my stomach starts going and like making those weird sounds, and it's telling me, eat, eat, no one's gonna see it. I'm supposed to be able to say, no, I actually have an inner strength that can keep me going. My willpower is more than just my bodily wants. And you actually accomplish that. It's a moment of self-discovery of an inner strength. So the first principle is discipline. That's the first principle that's celebrated, that Muslims get to celebrate and appreciate. We're more than we thought we were. So that's number 1. The second one is actually, as was mentioned already today, community. We're here as a community. Even when you welcome the month of Ramadan, when you welcome the month of Ramadan, I can ask the children here, how do you welcome the month of Ramadan? What do you look for? Someone said it, the moon. We welcome the month of Ramadan by sighting the moon. And the beautiful thing about that is it's a communal act that we can do as individuals, but no one can also stop you from seeing the moon. We welcome it as a community. And Ramadan is all about community. To the point where even the rituals of Ramadan, they're done individually and as a community. I already mentioned fasting, but fasting actually accomplishes community in a way that very few things can do it. And what I mean by that is, especially in a society in which people are oftentimes separated by the have and the have-nots, among the easiest ways you can figure out what class of society someone is in is by looking at what food do they eat. That because those who have don't eat the same foods as those who don't have. And Ramadan, actually, one of the things you're supposed to appreciate is when I feel hunger voluntarily. There are those around me who feel hunger involuntarily, so I connect with them more. When we are going to be, inshallah, breaking our fast together, you have a moment of connection, that we all connected and being human with each other, so that when we all bite into that first date or that sugary water, that's, I'm told, called Rovza, that you connect with each other on a level that you normally don't. We felt the same thing. And unfortunately, that's a rarity in today's day and age, where you get to feel the same thing as other people. Hunger and thirst actually connects us in that way. And as Muslims in the night, they recite the words of the Quran. And in the Quran, they share stories. And as a Muslim, we're going to hear people reciting Quran at night. They will recite the stories of a woman who was pregnant and not sure how to bring her baby to face the world around her when we recite the story of Surah Maryam. You recite the story and you find a young man who doesn't know how to deal with his siblings because there's a lot of sibling rivalry going on in the story of Joseph. You recite the story of a father who's really worried about the guidance of his child because his child is going astray in the story of Noah or Nuh. You have narrative after narrative after narrative that actually connect people together. Ramadan, the second principle, is the principle of community, and not just regular community, but empathetic community. So the first one was what? Discipline. Second thing we're celebrating is what? Empathetic community. And the last thing, the last third of Ramadan, Muslims are supposed to be looking and really trying to find this thing called Laylatul Qadr, the night of power or the night of decree, in which Muslims are told in that night we should be trying to make a big prayer for one thing. Allahumma innaka afuwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni, which translates to, Dear God, you are the forgiver, you love to forgive, so forgive me. It's actually, what are we seeking most, first and foremost, is forgiveness. Because what? We haven't been perfect, but we know that we have hopes that we can be better, and our connection with God actually keeps that hope alive. So it's this idea that this is the month of forgiveness. How you practice forgiveness is actually first and foremost that you forgive those around you, and that's also celebrated in the month of Ramadan, is actually this idea that this is the month of forgiveness. I can actually forgive myself and do better. It's the month of hope, the month of mercy, and the month of forgiveness. So those are actually the things that Muslims celebrate. Why is it such a big deal? Why do 1.8 billion people celebrate this month? It's because it's a month in which we celebrate discipline, that we are more than we thought we were. We have more strength in us because that strength comes from our connection to God, that we are capable of an empathetic community, that I can connect with the people around me, I can connect with the people I see, and I can connect even with every single other human being. Because why? We are all God's creation, so it's the month of community, to celebrate community. And last, it's the month to celebrate forgiveness. That I have the ability of being forgiven by God. Why would I not forgive the other creation of God? It's the month that celebrates forgiveness and new hope. So we ask that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless this particular community and all of the communities to be welcoming in the month of Ramadan with happiness, and to actually celebrate and appreciate the goals of this month, the goals of building discipline within ourselves, establishing empathetic community, and being a community that values and appreciates forgiveness. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you, Kaiser. That was extremely inspirational as well as beautiful words. I just found out that Assemblyman Sterling is going to be introducing a bill on Eid, so I'd like for him to say a few words.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. My brothers and sisters, as you celebrate this holy month of Ramadan, I just want to give you some good news. About 2 weeks ago, I just introduced into the legislature, I dropped a bill to declare Eid as a state holiday. So we're going to be working towards with the legislature and the Senate to get this bill passed. So I would ask you to encourage all your legislators to vote on this bill and to, have different groups talk to everybody. So, assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Assemblyman, for helping us pass the initiative on Eid. Now, I'm going to call upon all the kids so that we can do the lighting. So all the kids can come up. We're going to do a quick countdown. Are you ready? Yes? 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Light it up! making this tonight beautiful.